Welcome back, or just welcome. I'm Lizzie Frizzle, and this is the Recap Corner. Now coming to you from a channel with 500 subscribers! Thank you all so much. Last week, I uploaded the 50th video to DVR Czar, and the channel earned its 500th subscriber, both of which were huge milestones, and as someone who loves symmetry, it was especially satisfying to reach them together. So seriously, thank you for watching the videos and engaging with me, especially about a brand new show like this version of Farmer Wants a Wife. Speaking of, today we're talking about Season 1, Episode 7, called Barn Dance Romance. As much as it pains me to say it, because I've really been enjoying the season overall, this episode was the first one that dragged for me. Lots of what happened was pretty predictable based on some editing choices, and I also noticed that the show is starting to reuse B-roll footage of nature and animals. However, there was still fun to be had, because in the words of something Jennifer Nettles might as well have said in her opening narration, where there's love, there's always fun. We begin during another morning on the 4 farms. The contestants know that the next solo date is vastly approaching. In Tennessee on Alan's farm, the women speculate about who he'll choose for the date. He's the only farmer who's already had a one-on-one with all of his remaining contestants, so whoever he picks will be the first woman to get 2 solo dates. Rebecca guesses that, to be fair, Alan will probably just repeat the order of his first round of dates, meaning Cassidy Joe would be first in line to get her second. Too bad that with so much time passing and so little kissing happening since their first date, Cassidy Joe is starting to see Alan as just a friend. She's even working on a funny impression of him.
I'm gonna pick from a hat just because I like all my girls.
In Oklahoma, Landon takes his 4 dogs and his 4 contestants on a walk, while he wonders who he should choose for his next solo date. Also, who to eliminate. Zoe is the only person he hasn't picked for a one-on-one yet, but he's worried she's not ready to settle down, even though she's already been married. Landon also worries about Kylie's job. She lobbies Congress for increased veteran aid. He's concerned that that work and the lifestyle that comes with it wouldn't sync up with his own, even though Kylie seems to have the most farming experience of any of his contestants. We move from Oklahoma, where no one's been eliminated in weeks, to North Carolina, where Ryan's contestants are still reeling from Haley's emotional elimination, or at least Lily is. She explains that, as a psych student, she prides herself on being emotional, but with Haley getting the chop for that reason, Lily's starting to doubt if she has a future with Ryan either. On the flip side, Sarah V finds herself reassured by Haley's elimination, because she's not a very expressive person. Her words, not mine. In Georgia, Hunter's contestants are the only group with actual morning chores in this episode. They wash these big bins, and also pigs. But it seems like the pigs aren't purposefully getting bathed as much as they're just caught in the crossfire. Crosswater.
Get out of the way. Hey, I need you to go, please. Hey, don't you
I
bother.
have fecal matter all over my new jeans.
She and Sydney both talk to camera about not knowing where Hunter stands since Megan's departure. They both want him to figure it out, though. Devon says she's ready to put down roots, and Sydney explains that she gave up an exciting life in the Nashville music scene to come to Georgia and sit on a hay bale. Meanwhile, in his own interview, Hunter reveals that he has no clear frontrunner without Megan, which is exactly the kind of thing I thought he was referring to last episode when he told producers he didn't want to say anything he'd regret. With the morning chores completed, the contestants pack for their last group get-together of the season. Time sure does fly when you're having farm. Everyone goes to Tallahassee for a barn dance. The women wear colorful sundresses, and the men dress in what I'm calling formal farm wear. That's cowboy hats, tucked-in collared shirts, big old belt buckles, velvet blazers, and vests. As everyone catches up, the first big reveal among the women is about Haley's elimination. Lily outright tells other contestants that she doesn't see a future with Ryan anymore, but she still wants to feel him out before deciding officially. Later, Kelsey reveals that she and Alan kissed at the last group event. She manages to take a little jab at Cassidy Joe, too, while she's talking about it.
And he kissed me, and it was like his choice. I didn't ask. It was just natural for us. Can you kiss me, please?
Here. There.
Meanwhile, in another conversation, Cassidy Joe relays the same information about Alan and Kelsey's kiss, but differently.
Basically, Kelsey laid lips on him last weekend.
Cassidy Joe also says that she thinks Kelsey cares more about winning, the competition than she does about winning Alan. As if Cassidy Joe herself is any different. She and Kelsey both admit, separately, that they're jealous of each other. They also both claim to be happy about that because it means they really like Alan. I'm not sure about all that, but I do know one thing. Neither Cassidy Joe nor Kelsey seems the least bit threatened by Alan and Rebecca's connection. During the farmers' catch-up, they mostly tease Landon for bringing 4 contestants to the barn dance. Later, even Jennifer Nettles presses him to rev up the pace of his eliminations. Once everyone's been sufficiently reunited and boozed up, the dance begins. The cast and a lot of other attendees file into a barn where a live band is playing some music with interesting lyrics. The farmers choose contestants to join them in their first dance, which seems like a big deal and a good potential source of drama, but it turns out to not be very important at all. The drama doesn't come until later in the episode. First, Alan dances with Kelsey. Cassidy Joe tells the other contestants she can't watch while watching.
Sweetheart with Louie. To the bank.
You literally can't watch him dance with you. I literally can't watch it.
Throughout the episode, we see a few contestants get uncomfortable when they watch their farmer dance with another woman. It reminded me of a family-friendly version of a bachelor date. Instead of the lead kissing all his contestants back to back to back to back, these leads are dancing with them. To make matters worse for Cassidy Joe, the band starts to play a ballad, which leads Alan and Kelsey into a slow dance, then a kiss on the dance floor.
It's real sweet.
Seeing it all unfold, Sarah I with an H advises Cassidy Joe to keep the tears in tonight.
Let's keep the tears in for tonight. I'm trying.
Eventually, Cassidy Joe gets her own one-on-one time with Alan. They talk, and he tells her that at the very least, he thinks they're compatible enough to be friends. Is Alan feeling the same friendship vibes as Cassidy Joe? We haven't heard either of them mention friendship before this episode, and now both have brought it up within 20 minutes of each other. To camera, Alan wonders if Cassidy Joe got a fair shake during their first solo date. I guess because it happened right after he initially tried to eliminate her. Obviously, that's an awkward chapter in Alan and Cassidy Joe's history, but how long does he need to make up for it for? He already gave her the first one-on-one, which was way longer than anyone else's. Meanwhile, Ryan teaches Sarah V to dance. She's nervous about ending up in the friend zone again, which is apparently something she deals with a lot in her life, but Ryan seems to enjoy their time together. Not as much as he enjoys his time with Sarah I with an H, though. They make out on the dance floor while an irritated Lily and a lot of other contestants watch.
I literally just watched Ryan and Sarah make out for like an hour.
There's a couple very aggravated people over there on the hay bales.
Yeah. I'm just gonna look positive vibes, positive vibes.
Not my monkey, not my circus.
After, Lily and Sarah I with an H have a strange interaction about the kiss that makes me wonder what dynamics between Ryan's contestants we're not seeing.
No more kissing him.
Look at me. Trust me. I got this.
A while later, Lily confronts Ryan with her concerns about him. She accuses him of only seeking physical connections, not emotional ones, and of not being there for the right reasons. The worst thing you can do on a dating show, other than lie about having a girlfriend, then traipse through the bushes in a leg boot instead of deal with getting caught.
Justin, you seriously gonna walk away from me? You're gonna go out like this? This is how you want to be perceived?
Is he really running from her?
Yeah.
I was a little surprised by this Lily Ryan storyline, since Ryan is acting like how I expect a dating show lead to act. He is the most physical of the four farmers, but he's still tamer than an average Bachelor lead. I mean, he hasn't even kissed all his contestants yet that we've seen. At the same time, it does seem like Lily has a point about Ryan. Last episode, he told Haley he understood who she was, then eliminated her immediately after. Lily urges Ryan to think on her concerns. To camera, Ryan responds.
Definitely still attracted to Lily. Really like who she is. Lily challenges me, but it's become the only thing that she does. I don't know.
Throughout the season, Ryan has consistently said he wants a woman who will walk beside him. Not in front of, not behind. But he seems to have zero patience for pushback from the contestants, which, in my opinion, would always keep them firmly behind him. In Hunter's corner of the barn, he and Sydney dance, then talk. He assures her that he wants her around, then asks for a little kiss. After, Hunter tells the camera that there's a bigger spark between them than he initially realized. I can't believe kissing helped reveal that. Hunter and Sydney dance more. Hunter is such a good dancer. Then they kiss again after Lily encourages them.
I did get another kiss on the dance floor. Shout out to Lily who made it happen.
See, Lily doesn't always scold people for kissing. Meanwhile, poor Devon is so ignored by Hunter, she has to dance with a random old man. Later, Hunter finally pulls her for a private talk. The music shifts dramatically, and I think he's about to eliminate her. But instead, she asks him if he's still open to the dating show experience since Megan's exit. Hunter promises that he is and asks Devon to stay so he can prove it. He also weirdly reminds her that he hasn't technically eliminated anyone yet, even though he ignored Talia until she asked if she should leave. And until this episode, he'd kind of been doing the same thing to Devon. As for Farmer Landon, his eventual elimination of someone hangs over a lot of the episode. In one scene, he dances with Zoe. She asks for his favorite country song, but he says he doesn't pick favorites of anything, which really informs his inability to eliminate contestants. After, Landon pulls Kylie for a private talk. In a continuation of the storyline introduced earlier in the episode, he's worried that his remote farm life would hold her back from achieving her goals, continuing to lobby Congress for more veteran aid. As a result, he eliminates her, and once again, just like during Nicole's elimination, he absolves himself of the decision. Landon tells Kylie, just like he told Nicole, that he'd love nothing more than for her to stay on the farm. He's also got a couple of lyrical platitudes locked and loaded again, too.
You can't cage a bird that flies as high as you do. She has so much more to give the world and her community and her state. I just think it would be picking the wings off a butterfly.
Kylie's elimination was the biggest, if not only, surprise in this episode. From the beginning, I thought she was a final two shoo-in. She got picked for an early one-on-one date, she's got farming experience, and she was really good at giving Landon the I like you eyes. Ultimately, though, in her goodbye interview, Kylie agrees with Landon that their careers make them incompatible. If that's how she feels, then why'd she agree to be on this show? At the end of the night, the cast reconvenes, where Landon reveals Kylie's unexpected elimination. Next, it's time for the fourth and final solo date selection. The farmers with contestants who have yet to get solo dates all pick those contestants. So Landon chooses Zoe. She's excited, but she's also wondering why she was the last one picked. Not a great sign for her, since the last person to wonder why Landon chose her last for something, Nicole, was the first contestant he eliminated. Hunter chooses Devon, and Ryan chooses Sarah V, who playfully runs away from him.
Ryan, who are you going to be taking on your last solo date?
Without further ado,
God bless.
She hasn't been in the show much before this episode, but has Sarah V secretly been one of Ryan's frontrunners this whole time? That just leaves Farmer Alan. As predicted by his own contestant, Rebecca, Alan restarts his original date order by picking Cassidy Joe for the first and last second solo date. In the trailer for the next episode, we see snippets from the fourth and final solo dates. Landon takes Zoe four-wheeling. Ryan takes Sarah V to a different fancy restaurant than the one he took Sarah I with an H to. Hunter takes poor Devon, who might as well change her name to that for the duration of this show, to a cattle auction, and Alan rows Cassidy Joe into a lake. Later, he tells the camera that he respects her decision. Does Cassidy Joe decide she and Alan are, in fact, just friends and leave? Or is the trailer edit misleading and it's Rebecca who goes, since she and Alan seem to have the least romantic connection? Also, a car arrives on Hunter's farm. Megan? Thanks for watching. Come back next Tuesday for another Farmer Wants a Wife recap. And in the meantime, if you're so inclined, please like and subscribe. Thanks again, and thanks again for 500 subscribers. See you next time. Bye!